everybody, it's me again, Josh. You know, the guy who's on here most of the time.
I'm Ian, the hat guy.
It brought the gang back again. Here's Jeremy and Dale. We're going to do actually something different this time, because this topic is about another YouTube channel. If anyone is familiar with Death Battle, basically they take pop culture, usually video games or movies or shows, and take pop culture figures and put them in hypothetical matches to the death against each other, and analyze their weapons, armor, and tactics to see which one, in their opinion, educated opinion, but opinion, who would survive against each other. Well,
have we done Goku vs. Superman in that show yet?
No, they did. Twice. And fans are still not satisfied.
Yeah.
Well, the Superman fans are, but that's kind of what they expected would happen anyway. But anyway, what we're doing for this one is we're going to be going around the table with ideas for possible death battles they could do in the future, or at least ones we'd like to see, and short justification of each one. I thought it would be fun. I decided to do this. I had a list of them, of some myself, so I wouldn't forget, but I guess everybody else has ones in their head. Anyone want to start?
Well, you have the long list. You can read one of yours off, and then we'll just move around.
Okay. I'm going to start with the top one off my list. From the old Thundercats series, Mumra versus the villain of He-Man in the Masters of the Universe, Skeletor. Now, a previous death battle did Lion-O versus He-Man. This is basically kind of a continuation of that. Taking a look at their villains, which ones were more powerful there. I thought they had a lot of potential. That's really my only basis of it, is they did Lion-O and He-Man, and just going on from there.
Well, it has more potential to me than He-Man versus Lion-O.
Yeah.
Because He-Man was basically Uber God.
Yes.
He had magic chain-fixing powers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you can see from comic books that villains don't always scale to the same level the heroes do.
This is true.
Alright? I know I suggested this before the show, but I'm modifying it slightly. And want Rick Sanchez versus Brainiac from the DC universe. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. I want to see what happens when you have the two smartest entities in these two universes go up against each other.
You know it'd be some ridiculous thing with Rick Sanchez winning somehow.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I fully expect Rick Sanchez to win, but it'll still be interesting to see. I'm mostly just kind of want to step away from Marvel versus DC, because DC will win that fight 9 times out of 10. DC just scale, and nothing against Marvel fans, it's not that Marvel's worse, it's that DC scales higher.
I know that you throw those two iconic brands against each other because they were rivalries financially for decades. But yeah, when you actually are comparing the characters, DC usually wins.
Yeah, well, we're looking at their ability to punch each other in the face, not their ability to tell good stories. So this isn't a knock on the Marvel universe. This is just DC, especially heroes. DC heroes scale high. Like, most of the top tier DC characters are equivalent to, like, gods.
Right. Okay.
And in the case of Wonder Woman, is part god.
Well, back to me, because I think we're going to be going one of you guys than me, because I have so many. But who knows? But my next one is The Incredibles versus the Fantastic Four.
That's one I would love to see.
Now, of course, a couple X factors to consider here is Reed Richards being so insanely smart that it might tip the scales more in the Four's favor, so I'm on the fence whether or not to include the new addition Jack to The Incredibles.
You just want to see a baby die in a fight. You're a horrible person. You're a terrible, terrible
Never see a
person.
kid kick everyone's butt, you know?
Fair enough.
Let them fight. That's in my Edna Mode voice. Just let them fight.
But of course, I did Incredibles versus Fantastic Four because they are so remarkably similar. And we joked that The Incredibles was the Fantastic Four movie we never really got.
Yeah.
Because, well, finally they did it right.
Yeah. Finally, we get a Fantastic Four movie that doesn't suck. It's called The Incredibles.
Yes.
And that was my reason behind that one.
I guess on a similar note, Reed Richards versus Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. On the surface, it's like, well, they're both stretchy guys, but their powers really aren't that similar. Reed Richards just shapes his body, while Luffy is literally made out of rubber. But they both have nullifiers. Richards has the ultimate nullifier, and Luffy has arms hockey, which seems to nullify special abilities. Specifically dragon fruits, but seems to do that otherwise. Reed Richards is smarter, and Luffy's an actual fighter.
Doesn't Luffy have the full gamut, even
Yes,
Supreme King?
he even has Supreme King hockey, which lets him do mind control. And observation hockey, which lets him read his opponent's mind. So Reed Richards is going to need that ultimate nullifier to stand a chance against Luffy.
And, you know, another nature of how their powers work, Luffy's is just automatic. He's just rubber.
Yes.
Reed's is more conscious, so you can, like, you can take Reed Richards by surprise and maybe hit him with
I
something.
think Reed Richards is completely immune to bashing damage as well.
Is he, even if he's
I
unconscious?
believe so. It's
Yeah,
hard to...
I have seen him take hits, and if it's on the front of his head, his face will be flat, like in the cartoons, and then he just pops it back
Yeah,
out.
but did he see it coming?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're getting at when we
Yeah.
talk about Marvel and DC characters. Is you got 700 writers writing these characters over, what, like
Decades.
70,
Yeah.
80 years. Continuity starts to become very Hawkman-ish.
Fair enough, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyone else want to take up one?
I don't really have one, so.
Fair enough.
Oh, well, here's one I'll throw out just to let you guys dissect. It's another one I've mentioned before, but Voltron versus the new Disney show on Mech X4 or whatever.
Oh, yes.
That might be
They seem to
interesting.
be about the same size. I know
you know,
Voltron has the blazing sword and everything, but
I don't know enough about Mech X4, but I kind of want to give it to Voltron there. But
Voltron probably has a power scale, but the thing about Mech X4 is, considering that there are 3 genius scientists that work on it, the 2 kids and then the guy who actually built
and
it.
then there's the guy who directly talks to the machines. And
Yeah, the Mech X4 it tends to have the ass pull weapon of the weak kind of ability. You know?
Out of nowhere.
I like Mech X4. Mech X4 is a good show, but certainly it is a fault with the narrative. Is it like, let's pull a new weapon out of our ass to beat this monster? Also, Mech X4 has a pretty powerful force field, so...
Okay, I have a little bit more on the ridiculous side. I have Ronald McDonald versus the Burger King. Of course, it's self-explanatory why I made this matchup.
Yes.
I was like, dude,
Ronald McDonald has some crazy magic powers.
And
But Burger King is a ninja.
yeah, super,
Yeah.
super sneaky out of nowhere. And let's face it, that perma smile is unnerving.
Yeah.
yes.
Ew.
Well, we've seen Ronald McDonald's expression change from time to time. Burger King's is never changing.
That is creepy looking.
Mm-hmm. And you know, yeah, he'll come out of nowhere. Here's a burger. And,
The way the witch did on Snow White. Here's an apple. Yeah.
like, you don't...
Don't eat food strangers give you, kids.
Yeah.
There's the lesson, yeah.
Yeah.
And a Burger King hamburger is probably way worse for you than a poison apple.
Oh yeah. Oh, well,
You better be careful. We don't want lawyers going on yet.
Nobody watches
Well,
this channel.
I remember one point Burger King was an actual magician.
Was he?
Yes.
So there's like magic on both sides. That's interesting. All right.
It's not Doctor Strange versus Doctor Fate, but
Yeah. Yeah, that we just saw that one. But, I'll go again. I have The Munsters, the old sitcom monster family from Transylvania. The Munsters versus the Addams Family. And thought that would be interesting to Gothic. But they were on the air at about the same time originally.
yes. Well, I think the Adamses would have them outnumbered.
Well, we probably should tie down to like 5 on 5
Yeah,
to make sure.
Okay.
It's
probably.
like the 5 main versus the 5 man.
Now, I will say this for that fight. The Munsters is supposed to be funny because it's a normal family doing normal family things, but the family is made up of monsters.
With the inherent stuff that comes with it, I mean,
Yeah.
the father is a Frankenstein with superhuman strength.
Yes.
He's supposed to be the Frankenstein,
Right.
actually.
Herman
The
Munster.
monster.
Herman
is,
Munster
though,
is supposed to be him.
The Addams family routinely do things that are fatal to themselves.
And remarkably survive because I have no doubt the Addams family is supernatural.
Probably like zombies or something.
They just came from the guy who did them. They started as a comic strip.
Called what?
My Crowd.
My Crowd.
And it just, I think he was a satirizing society or something, but
And the Addamses were not even the main character. They appeared very often in that strip, but they were not focused every issue. But clearly, Grandmama is actually a witch, an actual witch, because she definitely seems that way.
and Cousin It is definitely, who knows?
Yeah, but we weren't going to involve.
Okay.
Because
No,
it's
well-
5 on 5, so it's the mains.
But I guess the point is that you're right. The Adams clearly have something supernatural.
You don't know. You can't put your finger on it, but there's something about them,
Morticia's almost certainly a witch.
or a vampire, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not sure. We know for sure the monsters are straightforward.
The monsters are monsters.
We know
Yeah.
they are. And so I thought that was a bit interesting. It could be neat with some research.
And on your old school topic, I'm gonna go a little old school. I want to see Space Ghost, not Space Ghost Coast to Coast, versus Birdman, not Harvey Birdman. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is awesome. Harvey Birdman's a piece of garbage. But I want to see the old campy cartoons.
The original Hanna-Barbera
Yes,
releases.
and they would have to fight on Earth because
From the mid-60s.
Yeah.
they'd have to fight on Earth because if they went into space, Birdman would just be screwed. Cause
Yeah.
He's solar powered, yeah.
Yeah.
Which can easily be done.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
Or it could be a sort of thing that they take it to space, and that's why Space Ghost wins. But we don't know. Yeah.
and when I look back, I remember seeing relatively recently, I think years ago, back when Boomerang was Boomerang, Space Ghost cartoons, and what I got from it was Space Ghost is Superman.
For the most part, he's pretty close.
Yeah, with those power bands.
Birdman
Birdman's
has
close, yeah.
Birdman has his little shield that nothing seems to ever break, and he has death rays as well. The only time Birdman's ever in danger is because the villain puts an umbrella over his head. He's like, "No, sun power, Avenger, help me, Avenger!"
Yeah.
But no Avenger and no Gleep or
Yeah.
whatever. To
The punk kids and their monkey.
Yeah.
was it Gleep or was Gleep the Super Friends?
I think
Gleek was a Super Friends.
It was
Space Ghost, the monkey was Blip.
Blip. Blip the monkey. That was his name.
Blip. That's right. One I pitched constantly, and so far, yeah, either hasn't been noticed or not
Or ignored.
Yeah, it was Avatar Aang versus Captain Planet.
Oh yes, that was when we had discussed the whole.
Yeah. And, the whole idea was elemental mashups, which would be.
Now here's the question: since Captain Planet is basically made up of the elements, could Aang bend him?
Or any part of him.
This is a Toph Gara argument, like they did before. Is sentient material up for grabs?
Well, Katara bent blood, which would be part of.
The blood itself is not sentient, though.
Yeah, but could you argue that the earth or fire inside of Captain Planet itself isn't sentient?
Yeah, that's definitely a head scratcher. And on the other end of things, can Captain Planet even be actually harmed? I mean, because
it seems
it's like
that the
only pollution.
Only pollution. It's that even that. Yeah, that's a discussion for a different episode. But oil isn't pollution; it's a naturally occurring element in the planet.
Oil in its improper place is pollution.
Yeah, I guess
it's not where it's supposed to be.
Isn't that true of everything?
Yeah, like human blood.
But
it is actually corrosive to metal.
Well, we see how if you lived in this part of Ohio, you would know how absolutely pollution those weird Japanese ladybugs are. Every spring there are thousands of them in our house.
The fake beetles, yeah.
They're natural, but they're in just everywhere in my house.
It's still polluted.
We are talking everyday vacuum cleaners in the corner trying to get them all.
If he figured it out, Aang could probably burn things to make smoke.
Yeah.
And that could possibly do something. So, there's that. I was like, anybody else before I continue? Because I got...
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Well, here's one that I pitched a while back. And it's all I've got, so...
Right,
but this is for a group battle. The Green Lanterns, the Green Lantern Corps, versus the Jedi Knights.
The whole Jedi Order versus the Green Lantern Corps.
They'd probably have to keep like 5 on 5.
Probably.
Five prominent Jedis versus
5 prominent.
The Council.
Versus, like the most famous ones, Hal Jordan, Ars Chipmunk, Kilowog.
Yeah.
The other important question is, are you going to limit it solely to the Green Lanterns?
Probably.
I would
yes.
imagine. I would imagine.
Because they were the originals.
I mean, they are the respective... Both are their respective universes' police force. Or at least before the Jedi Order fell. They basically were the police forces.
They're also the most boring part of both the mythologies. The Rainbow Lanterns, even though I get annoyed with them sometimes, are more interesting than the... And honestly, Han Solo and the Sith Order are way more interesting than the boring old Jedis.
Go discipline and peace. Boring. Come on. That's it. Yeah, so that's interesting. It has a lot of potential. It definitely has would have a hard time measuring that, but that's not our job. We're just pitching the death battles.
Yes.
I remember the one I was thinking of now.
Okay.
The mythology around Miyamoto Musashi versus the mythology around Charlemagne the Pure.
Interesting.
And we get Knight versus Samurai.
That's going into some weird directions, but hey,
Yeah,
I'm
but
fine.
what-
Very
not?
fascinating.
At least it's not Marvel versus DC or anime versus anime again.
This is true. My next one is video games. 2 video game characters. First off, I'm doing Shantae, the half-genie hero, from her own series, of course. Versus the little-known Marina Lightyears from Mischief Makers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the size.
666.
Yes. Now it's like, this is a weird mashup because Shantae has a lot of versatility for shape-shifting and magic.
Right.
But Marina's got one trick she does insanely well and it defies all logic.
Grab and shake.
Yes, because in her own game, she took the very concept of hate, shook it, changed it to a ball of love, and threw it back at the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, the things that she can grab, shake, alter, and throw are mind-boggling. So the one trick could do a lot of things, but this isn't likely to happen because Mischief Makers is practically just a cult forgotten thing at this point, but
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
yeah.
Nintendo or whoever owns, was it Rare?
I don't think so. I think it was just this no-name small company that
I want
did
another
Makers.
Mischief Makers game. You will make, I don't own a Switch or any of the next gen systems. I will buy one if you drop a new, not a report, a new Mischief Makers game. I will buy one of these
By
new
all,
systems.
by all means, put the...
Did you break my chair?
Apparently.
Careful.
Lean back and all of a sudden crack.
But, we'll check that out later.
Live shows, everybody!
Yeah. But yes, by all means, yeah, we'll put the original Mischief Makers on for a virtual console or something.
Yeah.
That you can check it out later. But yeah, make a new one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I thought it would be a good idea. Anyway, this next one, going a little weird here.
Like this whole show hasn't been so far?
We had chair breaking. But, two little known superheroes. Well, at least nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, let's throw, but yet slightly popular on the internet. Mighty Mouse, the tiny little meme machine on the internet nowadays.
He's a meme machine.
Well, every once in a while, Mighty Mouse is like cited in certain things
Oh,
or
okay.
certain stuff. Mighty Mouse versus Underdog.
Okay.
Both kind of Superman in their respective universes. And, I don't know, both just never lose. I thought it would be fun. And it's just...
I think Underdog's got it because of the drugs. I mean,
Yeah, those pills, buddy.
It's like, how long... That does raise the question, how long does that last?
I believe they have a time limit on the show. Probably like an hour or so.
I don't know about Mighty Mouse ever having a time limit on his.
Well, Underdog has powers even without his pill. He still has the superpowers. It just the pill is like spinach for Popeye. It like boosts his powers. I used to watch a lot of Underdog.
Which
when I was
brings
a kid.
up another one that I forgot about on this list. Disney's Hercules versus
Marvel's?
versus Disney's Maui.
Oh, wow, okay.
Hercules versus Maui from Moana.
I mean, Maui's got the shape shifting and stuff, but Hercules seems to have unlimited strength.
It's like Maui's definitely no slouch. He pulled islands from the sea and pulled the sun down and beat the heck out of it till it behaved itself. So it's like, it's hard to tell who would actually win that one, but it'd be...
Did he actually do it, or is he just boasting about it?
You know, it's not made clear, but no one's really disputed him in Moana about that whole...
Who, humans have disputed him about it?
Not
I mean, he's clearly part god, but...
Well, none of the other mythic beings you ran into in the movie.
Well, they were other than
Well,
Tafiti and the crab thingy.
That's about it.
And,
But none of them said, no, he didn't actually do any of
yeah,
that
but
stuff.
did it come up in conversation with either of them?
It's like, none of the weird mocking stuff the crab did ever went like, he didn't actually do any of this stuff, you know.
That is true, that is true.
You figure that's what the crab would have led
Yeah,
with.
because if that was a falsehood, he would have went right for it, probably.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Did the crab even know he was boasting about all that stuff?
I'm pretty sure his
it-
legend went around.
It's in his tattoos right there.
Yeah, but I'm not
That's
sure.
not
I'm not
fair
sure.
either.
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
he established he didn't make his tattoos. His tattoos appeared as,
Oh,
as
you're right.
magical tells
Yeah.
of his feet.
That is true. So there we go.
Well, this will lead us eventually into my last one that I have here.
That's not the last one you have.
You wrote this other one that doesn't even work. He wrote Robot versus Monkey, which is not even a thing. It's just,
It's from an old song from like the 80s or 90s called Monkey vs. Robot. It's catchy and fun. Check it out.
but yeah. But what I got here is The Mask from the Dark Horse comic character who had its own movie played with Jim Carrey. Yada yada. Versus Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers Steven Spielberg animated superhero based off of the internet. During the 90s, so, you know. If they rebooted Freakazoid, he'd be completely different now and probably not safe for kids.
Yeah.
But this is a classic magic versus technology situation, but they're both agents of chaos.
And
Oh,
both have undefined and
Cartoonish powers.
extremely variable cartoonish powers.
Yes.
It's very hard to tell where their scales lie in a fight like this.
It would just be pure madness, and that's why I want to see it.
Yeah, it would be pure madness.
Yeah, I never saw Freakazoid, so I don't know his powers, but the mask, we have to remember, it brings out the inner person of whoever's wearing it.
Clearly, the mask we would be talking about would be
Stanley Ipkiss.
Stanley Ipkiss.
Okay.
I was about to say Stanley Tweedle, but he's the guy from Lex.
Yeah. But,
So Lex versus Starship Enterprise? Death Star, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
How about Planet Busters?
we needed another Planet Buster, so yeah, the Death Star probably, or something similar to that.
Which Enterprise?
That doesn't matter. I think we just now established Death Star, Planet Busters.
But anyway, the mask versus Freakazoid, yeah, it would be Stanley Ipkiss's mask
Okay.
versus Dexter Douglas, the Freakazoid.
Freakazoid. As far as I know, no, there's two Freakazoids, aren't there?
There was like Freaka Girl at one point.
No.
But it was basically just that was short-lived for stupid Oak, and this Freakazoid was the only one that was.
I thought there was an evil Freakazoid he fought.
Oh yeah, there was like a -1.
Because Freakazoid.
Because they played off of every superhero cliche
they
ever.
could. There's always the Reverse
twin.
Flash, Bizarro Superman character.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd basically be the same thing.
Yeah.
But the internet versus Loki's chaos magic. And
Oh, I just thought of one. Well, I remembered one. It's actually one that Josh mentioned a while back. They're both from the same folks, though, but...
Well, I had Birdman versus.
Oh, that's
Space
true.
Goose.
Well, how about
Take
Speedy
those.
Gonzalez versus the Roadrunner?
Okay.
Establish which one is the fastest.
okay, I can get behind
I
that.
know who would win in a fight. Slow-mo. 'Cause he has a gun.
Slow-mo does have a gun.
Yeah.
That one time, he has a gun.
All cartoons are racist.
Yeah.
Bit. But
I was thinking of one. Unfortunately, it would be a completely one-sided fight. The entire Chitauri army versus a troop of Girl Scouts.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't think the Chitauri stand a chance.
better make it one Girl Scout.
Yeah, maybe the Chitauri versus one Girl Scout.
Even their flying giant worm war machines.
Yeah.
Oh, please, sneeze on them. It's made of the same destructium that the rest of them is made of.
Well, apparently, if you just kill like one brain, they all die, which is stupid. The dumbest things I've ever seen.
But
Unless they're a hive. Unless they're a hive.
That's
mind.
stupid. That is a stupid plot device.
But me
And
need brain for smart making.
You don't need brain for fight making, because they sucked at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that your same franchise thing reminded me of another one I had. Was Gizmo Duck versus Darkwing Duck. Same canonical universe. They've never met.
Now I got one. I want to see Darkwing Duck versus the Green Hornet.
Yeah, because well, they are basically the same.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, well, okay.
Not the Seth Rogen Green Hornet. That movie was awful.
The original
The actual-
TV series, Green Hornet.
I was gonna say radio serial,
Oh,
but that
well,
works too. TV
okay,
series works
well. Okay, I just remembered one.
too. I mean,
Pitched it a few weeks ago. The Shadow versus Mandrake the Magician.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that one.
Neat. Yeah.
Since they both cloud men's minds.
Well, what was Mandrake? Was that like King Comics or something like that? Who owns that?
Well, they were both well, the Shadow was in radio.
Shadow was in
Mandrake
radio.
was, he was a syndicated comic. I think King Features.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
it was something like that. Yeah.
No idea.
But I just know it's the same people who own Flash
Flash
Gordon
Gordon.
and the Phantom.
Mhm.
But yeah, that'd be interesting because they're pretty comparable to each other, and yeah, that's about all I got. And I'm off my list.
I don't think I have anyone else really off the top of my head. And you told me about it earlier this week, and I was gonna make a list, but then I didn't.
Yeah,
Because I'm the world's worst procrastinator.
I should have given Jeremy
Giving
and
us the
Dale.
assignment too.
Should have given you guys more time.
Yeah, but 5 minutes of preparation for you guys is a week's worth of preparation for me. Because I start to do something like this, and then I see something shiny, and it's gone.
Okay, that's
Gone
all she
forever.
wrote.
Gone forever.
Hey,
Honestly-
it was the same for me too.
Honestly, with all the ideas that we already threw down, we probably have spent a lot of time.
Probably.
already, so.
I was gonna say if we can come up with like 6 or 7, we might be able to split this into 2 videos and milk some views out of it.
Because it doesn't seem long when we do it, but after we check the time,
It's like 7 hours long.
Yeah.
What the hell we talk about?
We
This
go
thing
on,
all night.
we go on tangents. But
And we apparently break my chairs.
but this is I just thought of a little silly one. We have Inklings from the Splatoon series versus D-Blob from D-Blob, the video game series. He's
Okay.
a colorful, made of ink monster.
I have
thing.
no idea. I'm a Luddite. I don't know anything about this modern technology.
Yeah, fair enough.
I got my cutting edge PlayStation 2 set up.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it.
I think that's about it.
So see
So
you
this
guys.
time around.
See you guys later sometime, and stay tuned.